Well, the illusion is over. Hey guys, welcome back. Well, for those of you that have watched my previous videos on my Mondeo cesspit, you may recognise these. Yep, they are the leather X-type seats that I fitted to a couple of years ago. Well, given the demise of cesspit, I didn't want to scrap the seats or sell them for that matter, so they are becoming part of the Transit project. Fit both seats to the front of the Transit, getting rid of the double passenger side seat. So yeah, what I've also got here is I've got two Transit driver side seat bases. Now what I'm going to do is, given that the Transit is made in both left and right hand drive, these bases are interchangeable, so plan is I want to mount the X-type seats to these bases. But something that I do want to do is I want to try and retain the electrics on the driver's seat. Now, passenger side only has electrics on the backrest, so that is actually quite simple. But the driver's seat, it has like up and down height adjustment, forward and back. So I want to see if I can actually adapt that to these new bases. So first things first, let's get set up, and I think I'm going to work on the driver's side one first because that is going to be the most difficult. One other thing that I thought I would address. You may be wondering why I'm not actually working on the Transit at the moment and my videos are on things that could really wait till later on in the build. But it's quite simple. The shop is over an hour away, and at the moment, because of various roadworks and road construction, it's about 90 minutes away. So by the time I get there and by the time I return, basically that's 3 hours, and to be honest, I don't always have 3 hours. So what I do is I bring some things home, and that allows me to just work on things. If I've got a couple of hours here, a couple of hours there, I can just jump in and do a little bits here and there, you know, such as the dashboard. I had a day, wasn't really enough time to go over to work on cesspit, plus it was in the middle of Storm Eunice, so there wasn't really anything I could, did I say cesspit? The Transit. Anyway, middle of the storm, couldn't really do anything over there, so I took the opportunity just to do the dashboard here. Same thing with the seats. I've got a few hours this morning. I'm gonna just work, see what I can get done, put it to one side, then maybe if I can come back to it tomorrow, so on and so forth. So anyway, without further ado, let's get on with it. Oh, this is a blast of deja vu. Right, so this is what I'm talking about. Nut there, one, I don't know if you can see it through there, and another one, where is it at? There. That translates to, where are we at? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. So that should bolt straight onto there. Now, what I think I may be able to do is actually take this entire base off, may mount it to the bottom of there. I don't know. Yeah, if I take this base off entirely, because this is height adjustable, let me see. I don't know if I've, no, I'm gonna, oh, that's gonna go down. No, I don't think so. There we go. Yeah, that is height adjustable, So my theory is, yeah, if I mount the top of the seat to the top, then the electrics to the bottom, I should be able to control forward and back, up and down, have rake adjustment and everything, as well as the actual height adjustment for the driver's seat. Yeah, it makes sense in my head anyway, so let's see if we can actually turn this into reality. I'll be back. Okay, so started dismantling the seat, then realization struck me. The backrest is integrated into the actual frame. I had completely forgotten all about that. So, gonna have to reevaluate this. This is not what I was hoping to do. The seat cushion will in fact bolt straight onto there. Problem is, the backrest won't be attached. So, second plan is basically to see if I can mount this directly to the top of that frame. I need to put this all back together. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it's not the end of the world. It's, like I said, it's been a couple of years since I did these seats, and I'd just honestly completely forgotten how they went together. Should have went back and watched my old videos, but I didn't, so here we are. Anyway, I'm going to bolt this base back on. I've dropped one of the nuts, it's under the trailer somewhere, so I'll have to go looking for that. But I'll bolt this back on and then just try and figure out how to mount this actual base on there. So I will be back in a few minutes, give or take. Well, the illusion is over. This is not going to be as easy as I thought, but it is going to be quite straightforward. So that will mount about there, but what I will have to do is maybe go with the quarter inch is probably overkill, maybe an 1/8 inch bar stock across there and across the rear, and then just bolt that to it. I mean, yeah, then that'll still give me all the electrics and everything, and yeah, we'll keep it simple. Don't want to overcomplicate things. Anyway, don't have any, so I'll have to source some. It is now starting to rain again, so I'm going to pack this up for today, and I'll continue this video when I actually get some bar stock over the next couple of days, so I'll be back soon. Okay, so we have got some bar stock. Unfortunately, I was unable to get anything wider than this. It is about, what, 3/16 maybe. Anyway, unfortunately, yeah, this is not the ideal. Unfortunately, it's not ideal, but given the current situation, it's what I could get. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this for now, and just make the brackets and everything that I need, and then at a later date, when we do have some better materials available, I will remake them. But this is going to get things rolling along. It's going to allow me to put the base on here, and it'll allow me to get them situated in the van. So without further ado, let's get a drill and start drilling. Well, there we go. There's the first one cut. Yeah, definitely what I'm going to do is, this will just work for now until I can get the seats set up and everything. Then at a later date, probably when I come back from the States, I will see if I can source something at least wider, maybe quarter inch or something. Well, maybe not quarter inch, but something a little bit thicker anyway, and a little bit wider. I mean, this will work because one thing that will happen with this, the seatbelt mount will be taken off the seat. I will use the original van mounting points for seatbelts. So it's not a safety thing as such. I think what'll happen is it'll just give a little bit too much flex in the seat. So anyway, we'll see how it works out. But for now, let's get another one made. We'll get this base offered up and we will take it from there. So be back soon. So far so good. Now all I've got to do now is I'll get this centralised, and then boop boop, and another boop and a boop there, and yeah, it's actually a lot sturdier than I was expecting. I thought there would have been some flex in it, but actually not too bad at all. Obviously dropped the bolt for that corner, so I've got to find that. I don't know where it's gone to, but yeah, I'll figure that in a moment. At the moment, nuts and bolts I'm not concerned about. This is basically about getting the brackets made and painted. So yeah, that's turning out quite good, better than expected. So yeah. Right, let's get this centralised. I will mark these holes and get them drilled. So I will be back again. Right, there's all the braces cut and drilled. So what I'm going to do now is give them a quick clean down with some thinners or just a degreaser, and give them a quick coat of paint. Probably have a cup of coffee, then come back and we should be able to bolt them together. All in all, not bad. Quite happy with it. Like I say, it's going to do for the time being. It will at least get the seats to the point where I can take them back to the van and actually get them mounted up and everything, then come back and change these at a later date. So let's get some paint and let's get these painted. Well, this here is mounted and nice and solid. Mechanisms both accessible and work nicely, and yeah, all I've got to do now is just go around, just cut these bolts down to size. Yeah, I'll cut them as well. Just make everything nice and tidy, and yeah, that's it. That's this one done. Just basically got to repeat the process on the driver's side, which is a little bit more difficult because the driver's side is powered, so it also has all of the doodahs. Now, this base still has to be refurbished. I am going to sand it all down and paint it, but for the time being, it's good enough. Yeah, this is primarily just to get it set up on the seats. So, yeah, I am happy with that. And yeah, let's move on to the driver's seat. Oh, here we go with the driver's seat. Obviously, we've got all the mechanisms and everything in here, so this one will be a little bit more difficult, but you know, we'll get there. I did have all these unplugged because I was going to dismantle the entire seat, but I can plug them back in. Obviously, a lot of these are not going to work now. Airbag isn't going to work, and the sensor for the seatbelt mechanism isn't going to work, but as I said earlier, I'm not going to use this mechanism. I'm going to use the one that was actually built into the van, so yeah, that will come off eventually. Only reason I haven't actually taken them off now is, you know, as things go, I left all my Torx and star bits over at the shop, so can't actually take these off at the moment, but they will be coming off. Anyway, let's get this other base mounted and then that's it. Call it quits for the day. Well, there we have it. Seats are now mounted. So this will be the last I'm actually doing with these for, it'll be a long time now before I actually get back to giving these a clean up and everything. That'll be one of the last things I do on the van. But they're mounted and I've got something I can actually work with now. So the next time you actually see a video from me on the van, I will be back working on it. I'm heading over next weekend and going to spend a few days, and basic plan is, although this is open to change as always, I want to get that front end finished, all the welding done in that engine compartment. I want to get the brake lines run because it's easier with the engine out, and fingers crossed I would like to get the engine and transmission in at least to the point where it can be started up. Not sure about radiator and all of that, but we'll see how the weekend plays out. Anyway, I'm going to end this video here. So mash that like button, subscribe if you haven't, and drop by and see me sometime. Have a good one.